www.ghostimaging.net. All right, today we're going to talk about how to use dynamic processing, which is pretty much also known as compression. Now, you know I don't like long tutorials. I'm going to keep it short, keep it simple. If you want more extensive information on what we're talking about, email me at ghost@ghostimaging.net, or feel free to look up, definitions of words like threshold and attack and release and dither and ratio. Absorb those words, absorb the definitions, understand it, because you want to be able to understand what exactly you're doing as far as the mixdown process is concerned. Dynamic processing is basically explanatory. It's the word itself. It's the processing of a range of levels and dynamics as far as audio is concerned, all the way from the lows to the highs of a voice, of music, whatever you want to put processing on. Right now we're going to basically use vocals. We got Steve Harvey right here. If you listen to the levels right quick, listen to the audio.
Hey, this your man Steve Harvey. Next Friday and Saturday.
All right, so as you can see, the threshold is at 0. I'll bring this up to 0. Bring this down also to 0. As you can see, his levels were between -8 and pretty much -4. And you don't have to put too much on it because it's pretty even for the most part, except for right here you have some lows right here, you got some highs right here, so you want to balance that out. Threshold is basically look at it as like it's like the horizon, that horizontal line. It's the point at which compression begins. So if you want to, put a lot of compression on it, then you want to lower the threshold in the negatives. You can go all the way to like -24, probably even lower on some other plugins for compression. As you can see, it's red right here. To me, that means danger. Now, I know there are certain circumstances in which you can use that much processing and compression. I don't know. I haven't come across it yet. But what I will say is I've heard a lot of compression before. It seems like in the industry, more compression has been used on vocals and music. And what I will tell you is that a lot of times it sounds really sloppy and distorted. If you use that much compression, it does bring your lows and does bring your highs down, but it flattens it out and it makes it sound really, crappy, so to speak. Since it's already between -8 and -4, you might want to use maybe a -7.0 or maybe a -6.0 ratio. That's a little compression. It's a higher threshold, and it makes it sound more natural. The lower your compression, the less compression you use, the more natural it'll sound. And as far as ratio is concerned, -6.0, or say you're using a ratio of maybe a 2.0, for example. Well, basically, that's using 2 dBs over that threshold, over that horizontal line. For every 2 dBs, only 1 decibel is affected, or there's only 1 decibel of output. Let's say you have a 10-to-1 ratio rather. Well, for every 10 dBs that are over that threshold, only 1 decibel is affected. Same thing. The more ratio you use, the more compression you're using. So be careful of your ratios. Keep them moderate. Keep them average. For that natural sound. Also, you come over here to attack and release. Just explain it to you really quick. Attack and release is all about time. It's the point at which the compression will be affected. If you want your attack high, then you'll bring it down high. You'll bring your release. You'll put your release high also. That'll also cause more compression, and that'll also cause more of the decibels to be affected. So be careful on your attack and release. I like to keep my attack kind of low. I like to keep my release kind of low so that it's sounding natural, so that the audio's not affected too much. And the mix is how much of you're going to allow for all this to take place. I'm going to mix it at maybe 75, or maybe I'm going to mix it at about 90. Well, that's how much of the threshold and the processing I'm allowing to be affected on the levels in the audio, the vocals. So you got dithering right here. Dithering is basically something that you very rarely use. A lot of musicians use it. It allows for a certain amount of resolution to be affected. You kind of take away a little bit of the noise. So that's what dynamic processing is. It's the processing of the dynamics of audio and range. Feel free to follow me some more on my Ghost Imaging YouTube videos. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and of course, feel free to check out all my wonderful audio candy on www.ghostimaging.net. Dynamic processing.